Welcome. We're here with TBI Analytics podcast, and I have the pleasure of being here in Phoenix, Arizona with the MultusMedical group. And it's a pleasure because I wouldn't have TBI Analytics without this team right here. Thomas, you were an integral part of introducing me to our neuroradiologist, Dr. Rosenfeld, and just appreciate you, making that connection. Thank you.
Definitely.
And I just love what you were doing already. We met several years ago in this space, right? And doing our thing at these conferences and what we're doing and networking. And I came across Thomas, who was very helpful, no matter what we were doing. I think we were competitors at the time.
Gotta love it.
And we still, minded each other's, business, respected each other, what we're doing, and appreciated that. And so, with that, you just don't know who you're going to meet in this world and who you're going to be later working with. So you want to always treat people with the best, and kindness and respect. And so hopefully that turns into something down the road as well as what we're doing here. So, and Matt, thank you for being with us today. I know this has been quite a challenge this last month. I know it's been difficult with what you're going through. We just lost the creator of MultusMedical, unfortunately, just a few weeks ago. In fact, cancer took him. So, but he left quite a legacy here at MultusMedical, and with his sons, right, plural. He's got a twin that is running the company and helping us out as well here, right?
Yes.
So, Matt, tell us how you got into what you're doing here, and tell us a little bit more about what MultusMedical does.
Yeah, so essentially I kind of fell into this sort of field. I was working in the medical lean companies before doing that, and then I left, and then I came back about two and a half years ago.
Okay.
This is when we started doing surgical animations, which is our cream of the crop now. So
and so tell us more about what does Multus actually do?
Yeah, so we create 3D renderings and surgical animations for personal injury victims, people getting accidents, kind of the name of the game for us. And everything is on a lien or a letter of protection, so we wait for payment for the case at the end of the case. We do any sort of surgery that you would have medical malpractice, anything you can think of. We do some sort of mechanism of injuries as well.
Right.
Where let's say you get a chair pulled out, for example, and you fall and you hurt your back. We've done cases like that. We've done
to show how the injury occurred,
exactly,
what happened in that fall.
Yes.
So that's where we can resonate as well. That's how I started in personal injury. Is I answered an ad on Craigslist to work for a digital media company, and so I was thrown into what visual media is in the legal space, med legal space. I never even knew this existed until answering that ad. And then later on, going to multiple conferences across the country to where these attorneys are looking for this type of service. And it speaks volumes. As we know, images sell, right? Pictures are worth 1,000 words, right? So the whole cliche. And really seeing how you have to be able to show a jury what's going on. Because to see somebody looks normal, they may have had a fusion surgery where their spine is being fused in multiple, sections. But unless you can absolutely see what they had to go through and endure, then it doesn't really convey what's gone on, right? So
exactly.
So Multus takes that image and puts it into more of a 3D rendering so that there is no question where that injury is, correct?
Exactly.
So on the scan, we're able to fully be able to say, this disc is off, this is where it's off. And to have that measurement and that quantitative data point is really what these attorneys are needing for their clients in order to prove their case. correct? And so that they can get
We
that.
actually patented the software that does the 3D rendering. So it takes all of the hundreds of images or thousands of images that come out of a machine, puts them all back together in a 3D way that has even an interactive viewer where you can rotate it around, zoom in, zoom out, remove parts, get the most comprehensive view of the client's scan, while remaining true and accurate to the MRI itself.
That's amazing. And so where we've come from has been quite the
Hand drawn.
it is just incredible what we've been able to now, with technology and all the research that's gone on, what we're able to provide for these people. So it really helps to have that image to be able to show objectively what's going on, and you're finding that these attorneys are having stop there a few minutes earlier, a few seconds earlier, we're able to have these attorneys be able to see where their client can settle the case a lot sooner by having these rendered. In the timing it takes is really
Yeah, so I mean, the goal to getting a higher settlement or faster settlement is, you have to give the insurance companies something that they can justify paying out what they do. So
Right.
they have to go to the reinsurers and justify why they paid out what they did. So giving them the objective tools to do their job makes it a lot easier during mediation, during the deposition of the treater, always during trial. Everybody knows it's good for trial, but we're seeing it used a lot earlier in the cases, even in the demand, where they're getting the increase of value enough that they're able to get the case settled. So it's very valuable.
beautiful.
We intentionally priced our products at a point where it is usable and it's no longer cost prohibitive earlier in the cases. So
Yes.
we wait
What
for
a
payment till the end of the
difference.
case. We keep the cost down. It's always patient specific. It's something that we really want to highlight and make it more of a standard of what we're offering to the cases at a pretty affordable price point is going to add value, and many times I think averaging 1,000% increases in cases.
100%.
That's not just us. That's quality lawyers. That's good cases, good attorneys, and having enough of the tools that they're using to be able to properly manage the case.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were built by an attorney.
Right.
So obviously that's
Bring it
its
back
name
to
in
his
itself.
dad.
Yeah. So
Good old Dave Wattel.
he knows exactly what you're looking for.
Right.
We provide that in a fast and efficient way.
Tell us a little more. When did your dad start this company?
So I believe it's
2015.
yeah. So it's been
So
about
almost 10 years now.
yeah.
Shy of 10 years.
Yeah,
okay.
we've gone through some growing pains. We used to only do 3D renderings of MRIs,
Yes.
and we transitioned into surgical animations probably about
Few years
three.
ago.
2020.
Yeah, about three years ago, a little over 3 years
Right.
ago, and it's kind of switched the direction where we want to go.
Yes.
And we've seen a lot of success with animations, and the attorneys that we work with have seen
yes.
tons of success, 1,000% on their case return, and
Yeah, well, when you're able to take a customizable, this is custom to the actual patient and the client, right? So they're their images, not some stock imaging that you're having to depend on.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's the same.
it's not generic, is what we say.
correct.
It's not generic.
And the better thing, the advantage that you bring to the table is the price point.
Yep.
If you typically, that's the world that I was in. If you needed a medical animation, you're talking starting at $10,000 for
Yep.
something like this. And with you, you're getting it less than
Our average is right around 5,000.
$5,000. Yeah. So
And a 3 week
mean-
turnaround time, which is unheard of as well.
yeah, it's unheard of. I know we would have to quote at least 2 months before we would get a rendering of an animation to surgical animation done. So brilliant that your dad came up
Yeah.
with this concept. I believe every outfit, if you're in personal injury of any kind, that this is something that is needed, if you will. I think it's almost malpractice if you're not doing something like this. When the case warrants it, why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
With TBI analytics, I'm always saying, pun intended, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So,
And we're looking forward to continuing to develop our brain animations along with TBI analytics,
Right.
and seeing what we can do to collaborate on that.
right.
Yeah.
So, now that we have diffusion tensor imaging, as we know, is going into the fiber tracts of the brain to be able to show exactly where they're off or separated or sheared, and turning that into a full-on 3D rendering. That's definitely in our future, I think, soon too.
Very soon.
We're at that point where we have the software to be able to do it, and our attorneys are really enjoying that we can identify a little more specifically and more quantitatively what's going on. So, as you know, visual sell, and when we can show exactly where it's on, it's no brainer. So definitely appreciate what you're doing out there. And if somebody did want just even a rendering of just an image, not an actual animation or a surgery that happened, it's just actual images, and that price point's pretty fair as well.
Yeah, we do less of that than we will do it.
You will, but there's no need
typically
to
we
really
do the
anymore.
full animation or the 3D rendering. The AI software does the 3D renderings of the MRIs, and then we have a team of techs that are doing the actual animations of the surgeries. From that, we take some screenshots and put them on boards or handouts. But for the most part, we specialize in the full animation of a surgery.
Okay.
Every surgeon does everything different. It could be the same ACDF, but there's different hardware, there's different techniques. So we use the op report. Then once we're complete, we'll send it to the attorney. They get it to the surgeon.
Yeah.
Gives us feedback for revisions. We do those revisions at no cost within a few days. That way, foundationally, they can get it admitted, no problem. Whether that be used during a deposition or during trial, we see a lot of them, even as I mentioned earlier, used earlier in the cases during mediation and things like that. But we want the surgeon or the expert to be able to lay foundation for it.
That's awesome. I mean, that's fireproof right there to have that, communication with the actual surgeon that's approving it. That's a must, absolutely. So
we'll also
makes it easy.
Work with the surgeon directly if the attorney wants us to. We'll get on we'll hop on a call, see exactly what they want us to do, or expert who's ever on the case, and we'll work with that said doctor expert and complete whatever they want us to complete.
And you do hold your own liens.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing I know these patients and clients of personal injury that sometimes don't have the medical insurance to cover this kind of stuff, or the costs associated. So
it's really, for the benefit is really the law firm.
Yeah.
Smaller firms don't, it's cost prohibitive, so they didn't want to use it at that time. So we're trying to help all size firms have the access to the tools without having to take any loans or get anything like that,
because
to work up their case.
To work up their case in a manner that they're not having to expend their own money out of their own pockets, because as we know, attorneys and the plaintiff side are taking on these cases on their own risk and their own dime, their own investment. And so if we can help them, bridge that gap and help them save that money so they can build their firm and build the clientele, then you're helping them do that, and it's great. So amazing stuff what you guys are doing. Tell us where anywhere in this country you can operate, correct?
We do. We've worked in, so far, I think 38 states now with our animations. So we are accessible in all 50 states. Just reach out through our website, which is www.MultusMedical.com. My cell phone, of course, is 602-502-1326. I'm always available weekends, nights. I'm always working. So.
You are always working, Thomas.
Working.
And you know what? You're very responsive too. You're always responding. As soon as I'm texting you, you're responding. So that is really a good thing in this space. Attorneys want that responsiveness.
Yep.
So
You better be.
Yeah, you better be, right?
I just dump it on him.
Yeah, you just dump it on me. Well, okay. I'm also very
Speaking of, you guys are up for a call.
Yeah, we actually have to jump on a call now.
Yes. So thank you for being with us.
Yes,
thank you for what you're doing. And thank you to your dad for creating such a legendary experience for you guys to now carry on that legend.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll see you later.